Good morning. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Monday again. It is Monday, August the 18th. We're here to look at their new releases that have been published this week in mysteries. And on Mondays, we look at cozy mysteries. We do Wednesdays, we look at the darker side. We look at crime fiction and thrillers. And Fridays, we usually do the rest of the cozy mysteries because there's usually a lot. Not this week so far. So we'll see what happens on Friday. We might just not have it. We might look at other things. We'll see. Freeform Friday. Friday finishers, whatever you want to call it. Other announcements, I don't have any sprints tonight. I don't do them on Monday night. Our next sprints are tomorrow night, Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Good morning, Kim. How you doing? How was the weekend? Mine was not bad. Did a lot of crocheting. Finished my book. First up in Cozy Mysteries is a new one by Kate Parker, 13th in her Deadly series. Deadly Village is the title. Olivia Redmond thought she'd left danger behind in a blitzed out London, but the quiet Cotswold village of Chippingford offers little refuge, especially when a local gossip turns up dead. With a baby to care for and the villagers turning frosty, Olivia's only ally is a young Bobby overwhelmed by his first murder case. As a former newspaper reporter and covert asset for Britain's intelligence chief, Olivia knows how to uncover the truth. The deeper she digs, the uglier it gets. Blackmail, betrayal, and decades of whispered sins. And as the village closes ranks, Olivia must choose, keep the peace or expose the secrets that could shatter everything. If I remember right, this next one sort of teeters on the edge. Could go either way. And Kim says it was okay. Good morning, Elena. How you doing? She is good. And holy moly, Mary. Good morning. Hello from your long lost buddy in Virginia. Finally, family has gone home and some of the plumbing issues were taken care of. And I'm here again. It is good to see you. Happy Monday and good morning to Kim and Elena. Kim says Stormy is the sprints tonight, Storm's channel. Sarah's in the hospital. Tiffany says she's okay, not transplant related. Well, that's no fun. But yes, glad to hear it is not emergency in that regard. Thank you for the update. The Marigold Cottages Murder Collective by Joe Nichols. Mrs. B, the landlady of the Marigold Cottages, is a stubborn idealist who only rents to people she cares about. Sophie, an anxious young playwright with a dark past. Hamilton, an agoraphobe who likes to overshare. Ocean, a queer sculptor raising 2 kids alone. The perfectionist Lillian, and Nicholas, a finance bro who's hiding secrets. The tenants live contentedly in their dollhouse bungalows in Santa Barbara, just minutes from the beach, until their peace is shattered when Anthony, a quiet, hulking, but potentially violent ex-con, moves in. 3 weeks later, a dead body is discovered on the streets of the peaceful neighborhood. Anthony is arrested and the tenants heave sighs of relief. Until Mrs. B, convinced that he's innocent, marches down to the police station and confesses to the crime herself. The tenants band together and form the Marigold Cottages Murder Collective to save their beloved landlady. As clues are unearthed and secrets are revealed, the community of misfits only grows more tight-knit until a second body is found. Kyo? No. Skeletons and Scandals by Nix Hallowell, 10th in the Confessions of a Closet Medium. Elena says she finished The Stand by Stephen King yesterday. Woo, we'll give it to you right now. Yay, congratulations. Woo, good job, because that is a chunky monkey book. Good job. Skeletons and Scandals. Confessions of a Closet Medium. I thought judging Thornhollow's Southern Spirits Cook-Off would mean a weekend of casseroles, community spirit, and a few tall tales about haunted grannies and secret family recipes. I didn't expect a famous food blogger to drop dead after tasting my friend's cornbread casserole. And I definitely didn't expect to stumble across a skeleton in my attic, let alone the ghost that came with it. Turns out a once famous local chef whose mysterious disappearance decades ago has become the stuff of Thornhollow folklore has been trapped there. Now her ghost has taken up residence in my kitchen, rearranging spice racks, leaving flowery clues on the floor, and demanding I solve the mystery of her death, or she'll haunt my kitchen for eternity. With poison casserole, a tin of recipes, hexes and blessings, and a whole lot of southern secrets bubbling to the surface, I've got my hands full, and a murder in Thornhollow would rather I leave the past buried. Barry Hurst by A.N. Sage, third in the Miss Brook Manor series. Lyra Moore has spent years keeping a low profile in Orchard Hollow. Sure, she's a fairy, but she much prefers running the Miss Brook Manor funeral home to getting tangled up in magic. Unfortunately, trouble seems to have a way of finding her, especially when it involves the dearly departed. When a retired librarian is found strangled with silk yarn in the middle of the local crochet club's weekly meeting, everyone is quick to call it a tragic accident. Seriously? But Lyra's gut tells her otherwise, and her cursed talking cat, Theo, who has far too many opinions, agrees. The victim has just uncovered a long-lost crochet pattern rumored to hold a valuable secret, and it seems as someone was willing to kill to get their hands on it. With the town full of nosy shopkeepers, bickering club members, and one particularly attractive fey prince getting in her way, because of course. Lyra starts unraveling the case one thread at a time, but when another body turns up, things go from bad to worse. It's clear the murderer isn't ready to cast off the deadly plans just yet. Between dodging magical mishaps, keeping her fairy identity under wraps, and avoiding a complicated dating life, Lyra has her hands full. Can she untangle the clues before the killer strikes again, or will she find herself stitched into the next crime scene? End of row one. And Mary asks Elena, did you like it, Elena? It's a long one. Congratulations. Crooks and Nannies by Misty Simon, second in the Charmed Inn mysteries. A surprise visit from Roxy's sister stirs up all kinds of chaos when a jilted lover is found dead at the Charmed Inn. The middle of summer is the busiest time of year for Roxy Gleason, so when the inn springs a few leaks more than her usual handyman can handle, Roxy hires a father and son team to make quick and hopefully inconspicuous work of getting things back on track. It's all going well until one of them is found dead in the basement among the wine racks. Enter Roxy's wanderlust sister that she hasn't seen in months. She shows up unexpectedly as a nanny to a family vacationing at the inn. Roxy is thrilled to see her, but when she's tagged as the main suspect for the murder, the hunt is on for the real culprit. Roxy will have one chance to get it right while she tests out the limits of her gift. It's do or die, but she's not sure which is going to come out on top. Cal Simong has a new one in his Beatles series. Bonnie writes the Beatles, Miami. Welcome to Bellwether's Antiques and Tea Shop in Sunny Drips, Florida, where antiques, tea, and secrets are always brewing. When the famous Helen Spencer, a woman legendary in Beatles lore for uncovering hidden truths, steps into Bonnie Bell's shop asking for a glimpse of the private Beatles museum Bonnie has kept locked away since her days as a young journalist in the 1960s, Bonnie knows she's in for more than just tea and small talk. Helen is searching for something connected to John Lennon, and she's convinced Bonnie has it. As Bonnie scrambles to protect a long-forgotten postcard tucked inside her old tea book, her past adventures covering the Beatles in Miami resurface. Stolen treasures, shadowy figures, and a trail that points dangerously close to her own family friends. With Beatlemania at its peak and trouble hiding behind every screaming fan, Bonnie recalls how she relied on John, Paul, George, Ringo, and a little help from their loyal manager Brian Epstein to untangle a thieving plot that could have changed history. I believe that author has 2 Beatles series. He has found his niche. Or maybe it's a she. I don't know. Maria says, very overcast here today. Hope it brings some rain since we need it. Have been very lax with reading lately. Too busy with family, etc. We'll get back in the saddle again. It's nice to have family. It's nice to have your quiet time also. Apple Pie and Alibis by Nova Walsh. 4th in the Moonstone Bakery Mystery Series. Business at Moonstone Bakery is booming. Tourists are lining up for pies, and Ginny's thrilled that Vince is going to introduce her to his brother Tony on the picturesque farm in nearby Wyattville. A few hours away from the ovens sounds blissful, right up until Ginny and Vince stumble onto a body among the trees, and Tony lands at the center of a scandal that could ruin the Rinaldi name. With the clock ticking and the local sheriff eager for an easy arrest, Ginny and Vince find themselves shuttling between Moonstone Bay's boardwalk and Whiteville's dirt roads, balancing pre-dawn baking, the mischievous cat shortcake, and a growing list of suspects who had all the reason to want the victim silenced. Pie by pie and clue by clue, they'll have to sift through tangled debts, small-town grudges, and a trail of apple cores that just might lead straight to the killer. Murder by Mischief, book number 10 in Moon Landing's Cozy Mystery Series by Shelley Weiss. And it's only 103 pages. It just squeaked by. When notorious prankster Rhett Dunn is found lifeless behind the dunk tank at Moon's Landing's annual carnival, most assume it's a trick gone too far, but photographer Brittany Lopez sees something others don't. A costume out of place, a shadow in the background, a vintage devil mask that doesn't belong. With her camera in one hand and her loyal hound Butterscotch at her side, Birdie begins to unravel a mystery buried beneath candy apples and carousel music. But the deeper she digs into Rhett's final investigation, a podcast exposing local scandals, the more resistance she faces. Someone keeps blocking her access to witnesses, and the town's old guard seems awfully nervous about what secrets might surface. What Birdie discovers threatens to expose more than just a murder. Rhett died trying to reveal a buried HOA scandal that touches her own family's history. Someone is willing to kill again to keep those secrets buried beneath the carnival lights. Somewhere in the crowd, behind the costumes and painted smiles, the killer is still playing their deadly game, and Birdie just became the next target. Surely you can, with all that going on, you can write more than 103 pages. End of that row. End of my snark. Kim says, I'm waiting on my new driver's license. Maybe in the mail today. Envelope with no return address is showing, well, no name, but from Suwanee, Georgia. Hope it shows up. I hate waiting. A Brush with Murder by Tracy Gardner, 4th in the Shepherd Sisters Mysteries. When Savannah Shepherd's father, Harlan, and artist friend Sebastian Alexander vanished during a sailing regatta along Michigan's west coast, the Shepherd family is plunged into turmoil. As the Coast Guard scours the Great Lakes, Savannah sets aside her work on Sebastian's art show to join her sisters in comforting their mother and aiding in the search. When Sebastian's assistant is found dead, Savannah's keen eye as an art authenticator turns to a darker canvas, decoding the secrets of Sebastian's bitter family. Days later, the missing yacht drifts ashore with Harlan gravely injured, Sebastian missing, and a sinister bloodstain on the bow. And then it goes into verbiage. Savannah must piece together the clues to uncover who cut the lines, spilled the blood, and nearly tore her world apart. G is for Ghost by Dina Marie. This is 5th in the Salem Spirits Cozy Mysteries. Clara Kelly is ready to inspire young minds. While speaking in Salem High School seniors about starting her own bed and breakfast, she's startled to find an unexpected and very transparent attendee. An English teacher's sudden passing seems peaceful to everyone else, but Clara knows better because his murdered ghost is standing right in front of her. With her grand opening just weeks away, Clara has her hands full finishing renovations on her haunted B&B, complete with its own resident ghost, William Kensington, an innocent Civil War soldier branded a traitor. Between tracking down a slippery reporter who promised to help clear William's name and nervously preparing for her first date in more than a decade, she hardly has time for spectral sleuthing. But with the ethereal educator lingering like an ungraded test, Clara must school a killer before the case gets buried in the history books. Can Clara uncover the truth and help the teacher graduate to the next realm in peace? Or will this case prove that some ghosts cannot be dismissed? The puns, they are heavy. Murder in the Mangroves by Joanne Tracy, 2nd in the Clementine Carter Mysteries. Former divorce lawyer Clementine Carter's life in Whale Bay is close to perfect. She'll never admit it, of course, because that would invite disaster, and she's got big plans for her New Age store as well as her romance with local barista Finn Morello. Disaster still finds her anyway in the form of Finn's not-quite ex-wife, who comes to town to conduct an environmental assessment. Only something smells off about the whole process to Clem and her friends, and it turns out to be the dead body Clem discovers floating in the mangroves. With Finn under suspicion for his wife's death and Clem needing answers, she sets out to investigate the proposed development of the protected mangroves area. But Clem has secrets of her own, and when the reason she left Whale Bay 25 years ago arrives in the middle of a murder investigation, Clem might need an alibi or two of her own. Can Clem solve the mystery before the killer or her past catches up with her? Veils, Vows, and Villainy by Leanne Leeds, 11th in the Silver Circle Cat Rescue Mysteries. After months of planning and countless catastrophes along the way, Ellie Rockwell's big day has finally arrived. With Silver Circle Cat Rescue temporarily in Evie's capable hands, Ellie should be focused on wedding cake and final fittings. Instead, when a member of the wedding party is found dead just days before the ceremony, her walk down the aisle might lead straight to a murder investigation. As the hours tick down to I do, Ellie and Evie must navigate jealous guests, suspicious in-laws, and a killer who seems determined to object to Ellie's happily ever after. With Landon by her side, can Ellie solve the case before someone else meets an untimely end, or worse, before her perfect day becomes another perfect crime scene? Something old, something new, something borrowed, something deadly. Will Ellie's wedding day memories include catching a killer, or will her special day become her final farewell? Botanical Hearts and Betrayals by J.C. Valentine. When botanist Luna Martinez discovers an unusual flower in Margaret's secret garden, the same mysterious sanctuary from Seabreeze Cove's most talked about scandal, she expects a botanical puzzle, not evidence of rare flower smuggling that threatens to expose dangerous secrets buried for generations. FBI detective Daniel Rivera thought his assignment to the quaint coastal town would be routine until Luna brings him a case that connects Margaret's hidden garden to an international smuggling ring. Her brilliant mind and fierce determination captivate him as much as the mystery they're unraveling together. But as the flower smuggling operation spreads its roots through their quiet community, Daniel realizes protecting Luna has become more important than solving the case. As curiosity turns to trust and trust blooms into something deeper, Luna and David must navigate escalating threats and their growing attraction. Will smugglers determine to silence anyone who discovers their operation? Will they expose the truth about Margaret's garden before their budding romance gets uprooted? And that is all there is, truly. Normally there's like 40 or 50 books, but this is it. I don't know what's going on, but we made it. Mary says, glad to hear that Starkiness is alive and well and still makes an occasional appearance. Yes, yes, it does. And Elena says, have a great day, everyone. Back at you, baby. So, again, no sprints on my channel. Apparently, they are on Stormy's channel tonight if you want to do any sprinting. Our next are on my channel are tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday, we'll look at crime fiction and thrillers. Mary, I think we changed it after you had to take a break from us. We're only doing Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I had to step back a little bit. James says, my aunt sent money to Walmart for my birthday and they won't accept my receipt to give me. Still? Might have to call the aunt to see what she can do to take it back and go a different route. Mary says, wow, short and sweet this Monday. I know, it's weird. Elena says, don't be a bookworm, be a booking the monster. Nom nom. Indeed. And see you Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Awesome. And Mary says, thanks so much. You all enjoy the day and have a great week. Back at you, baby. Thank you. It's so good to see you. I was about to message you. Let's make sure you're doing okay. You are okay. You just had families. All right. Well, have a good Monday. Be safe, be cool, be hydrated. And as Elena reminded us, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom. Have a good day and God bless.